Go over there and read the quotation that's on the wall. Read it aloud, please.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you.
We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be?
We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone.
And as we
let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
Does that mean anything to you?
I don't know.
It's written in plain English. What does it mean?
That I'm not supposed to be afraid.
Afraid of what?
Afraid of me.
So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Temporal periphery. So like humans develop peripheral vision to deal with predators, so that it's something to our side. We could see a predator coming, and so we have this kind of like side view that helps us out. It's a very important thing. Some animals don't have that. They can only look straight forward.
Right.
But we have we can see off to the side a little bit, and that's a super important evolutionary trait. Well, we also have the exact same thing in the sense that, but it's a temporal peripheral vision where we can think about the past and we can think about the future. And anxiety is always related to things that we're looking at in the temporal periphery. 9 times out of 10, if you come into the present moment, you won't feel anxious. Yeah. You could be sitting in a doctor's office about to go get your CAT scan, and if you could really pull yourself just into the moment and what's happening there, you'd be 90% less afraid. Yeah. But the moment you step past that sliver of the present moment, that light beam, and into the darkness of the future, that's where the anxiety pounds your fucking ass, man. It's like touching an electric fence. It's because things are always fine. If you really look at it, things are always fine. Up until the zombie rips your intestines out of your stomach, things are generally pretty okay. You know, that's the real conundrum, and I think that's the thing that is so perplexing about it being a human being is you know that you're carrying around with you the ultimate treasure, which is the present moment, but you can't stay in it. You don't have the discipline to stay there fully. You're always wandering off into the future, always wandering off into what you have to do, what's coming tomorrow, what's coming in the next few minutes. You know what I mean? It's so curious that right there in front of us is the ultimate Xanax.
What happens if you look at the way talent is created? It's created by unbalanced people, often motivated by fear or escapism. And that if you have a social net for everything and we're all safe all the time, where's the fear? I'm not driven by doing a good show. I'm afraid to be Vince Scully says this. I'm afraid to go on the air and have nothing to say, and I have 4.5 minutes left. Fear drives my entire show. It's driven my entire career. Fear of failure. Jerry Tarkanian told me, I don't remember any win. I remember losing 9 years to go to Santa Barbara. He goes, I have nightmares about it. So to me, I'm not rooting for poverty. But what I am saying is failure. Jordan's still mad about the high school coach. That's why he's great.
This is why I fucking love the Bhagavad Gita, which is this scripture that takes place on a battlefield, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And it's with this, and Kurukshetra means, there's a lot of translations for it, but it means sacred duty. So it takes place on the battlefield of sacred duty, on the place where a war has to be fought. There's no way to avoid the war. There's no peace. This is going to happen no matter what. The two armies, it's like, you know, in legend, it's the biggest war that ever happened in India. And these two fucking armies have gathered on this battlefield. they're facing each other, they're starting to blow their conch shells, and like that's like when the shit's about to go down. And Arjuna, the great warrior, has Krishna as charioteer, and Krishna represents God or the universe or, you know, eternal wisdom, has him bring the chariot in between the two armies, and he checks out the army he's about to fight, and he says, I'm not gonna do this. He says, I'm gonna fucking, I'd rather go live in the forest and be a beggar than kill all these people. And this is like a lot of hippies get confused about the Bhagavad Gita, because God's response isn't, oh yeah, go live in the forest and be a beggar. God's response is, no, you're a warrior. Your job is to fight. You have to fucking fight. You have to take up your weapons and you have to fight this battle. And so what you're going through and what every single person goes through from time to time in their life is where they find themselves at this moment of decision, sitting in between two great armies, whatever it is, sitting in the place of indecision and having to decide, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna fight? Or are you gonna go and live in the fucking woods like a coward and eat fucking gruel and pretend that you've done some holy, wonderful thing and pretend that you're some brilliant, great person because you've gone off into the woods to be a pacifist, when the reality is you're ignoring the essence of what you really are.
The thing is, you need to build an ability to just be yourself and not be doing something. That's what the phones are taking away.
Yes.
Is the ability to just sit there, like this. That's being a person, right?
Yes.
No one can, you gotta check. Because, you know, underneath everything in your life, there's that thing, that empty, forever empty. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
Just
I know what you're talking
that
about.
knowledge that it's all for nothing and you're alone. You know, it's down there. And sometimes when things clear away, you're not watching it, you're in your car and you start going, oh no, here it comes, that I am alone, like it starts to visit on you. You know, just the sadness.
Yes.
Life is tremendously sad just by, you know, being in it. And so you're driving, and then you go, that's why we text and drive. I look around, pretty much 100% of people driving are texting.
Yes.
And they're killing, everybody's murdering each other with their cars.
Yes.
But people are willing to risk taking a life and ruining their own because they don't want to be alone for a second, because it's so hard. So anyway, I started to get that sad feeling, and I was reaching for the phone, and I said, you know what, don't. Just be sad. Just let the sadness stand in the way of it and let it hit you like a truck. And I let it come and bruise, and I just started to feel, oh my God. And I pulled over and I just cried like a bitch. I cried so much, and it was beautiful. It was like this beautiful, it's just this, sadness is poetic. You're lucky to live sad moments. And then I had happy feelings because when you let yourself feel sad,
yes,
your body has like antibodies. It has happiness that comes
rushing in
to meet the sadness. So I was grateful to feel sad, and then I met it with true, profound happiness. It was such a trip, you know. And the thing is, because we don't want that first bit of sad, we push it away with like a little phone for the food, and you get a little kind of. You never feel completely sad or completely happy. You just feel kind of satisfied with your product.
Yes.
And then you die. So that's why I don't want to get a phone from my kids. That's what I'm.
He said, hell is not some place where you burn forever. Hell is that moment that you're dying. That moment when you're at your deathbed, or you're in the car, you're sitting at the car, wherever the fuck you are. You're dying. And your mind goes back and thinks about all those opportunities you had to experience life to the fullest. All those chances you had to dive into life and suck the marrow out of life, and you didn't out of fear. That's hell.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
And the more you try to understand that, and really get the message, because there is a message over there. We've all heard it. You've heard it, I've heard it. The message is the universe loves you and you're fine and everything's gonna be fine. Don't be scared. Try to spread love. Be positive. Embrace the world. Embrace your fucking neighbors and let go of the fear that's ruining your life. That's the message. That message gets interpreted in a bunch of different ways. Buddhism, Christianity, whatever. But it's not like people are supposed to stop bringing that message back. That's the thing. Is when you have the balls to go into the darkness and all of a sudden you realize that darkness was a complete illusion. All the darkness and negativity and spooky shit and guilt and fear and crap you thought was inside you and all the bad things you thought you've done and all the things that you feel terrible about secretly, you realize that's nothing. It's an illusion. The universe loves you. You're completely embraced by the entire universe. You're an incremental part of the functioning of the cosmos, and you're an incredible, wonderful, perfect fucking thing. And when you get a glimpse of that, it's the greatest feeling ever, because you're healed. Because that's what true healing is, man. True healing is realizing you were never sick in the first place.
No, I've actually always found something to be very true, which is most people don't get those experiences because they never ask. I've never found anybody that didn't want to help me if I asked them for help. Most people never pick up the phone and call. Most people never ask. And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act. And you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn. You know, with people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
Hey. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Hey. What you doing here? Don't you have practice?
Not anymore, I quit.
Oh. Well, since when are you the quitting kind?
I don't know, I just don't see the point anymore.
So you didn't make the dress list. There are greater tragedies in the world.
I wanted to run out of that tunnel for my dad. To prove to everyone that I worked...
what?
That I was somebody.
Oh, you are so full of crap. You're 5 feet nothing, 100 and nothing, and you got hardly a speck of athletic ability. And you hung in with the best college football team in the land for 2 years. And you're also gonna walk out of here with a degree from the University of Notre Dame. In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself. And after what you've gone through, if you haven't done that by now, it ain't gonna never happen. Thought I wasn't being played because of my color. I got filled up with a lot of attitude. So I quit. Still not a week goes by, I don't regret it. And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you. You hear me clear enough?
See, when you take some action, when you start imagining the worst possible scenario and then you move on and do something, then that begins to ignite the death of fear in your life experience. As opposed to being immobilized by it, you are energized by it. If you accept yourself as you see yourself beyond your fears, then you don't accept yourself as a victim, but you begin to see that you are more important than any fear that you have, that you're more powerful than any fear that you have. What most people do is they make their fear more powerful than they are. They make their fear more powerful than their dreams are. That's what you don't want to do. Don't make your fear more powerful than your dreams or your passion or whatever you want to begin to create in your life experience. You've got to make you and what you want more powerful. Begin to know and accept yourself as the person to do what it is that you want to do, and whatever you have to get past, if it's fear, if it's procrastination, whatever it is, that you're not going to allow that to stop you. That you're going to get past that, that you're going to move on, that you're going to confront that, that you're going to conquer that. Because what most people do is they hide out behind fear. See, if you don't see yourself as deserving what you want, you can hide out behind that fear. Use all kinds of excuses to keep from venturing out into the real arena of life.
But I went in, I took the needle, and after I walked out of that needle, I could have fucking killed 10 fucking people with my bare hands because you overcome one of your biggest fucking fears. Till this day, I get little emails and people are like, you know, I suffer from a social disorder and I don't know what to do. Well, the answer ain't taking a fucking pill. It's checking your fucking confidence and grabbing your balls and walking into a circle and saying, fuck it, I'm here. You know, my mentality was always go into the mouth of the lion and put a chair down and sit the fuck down and let the pieces fall where they may. And if you're not going to live like that, fuck them all.